Today we are joined by a very special guest, Mr. Chris Lee.
Thanks for having me. Yeah, this is awesome. We've been dying to do this podcast with you, dude.
Thank you, bro. Thank you for coming. I kind of wanted to just rewind things. I feel like when people punch in your name on the internet, they see Artifact and all these other things, but I kind of wanted to touch on, more about your Utah come up.
Oh yeah. I feel like it's weird because I try to stay secluded sometimes too, but I'm from Utah. I was born and raised here, born in Salt Lake, and what's funny is I realized what I was in Utah because someone mentioned it, and I was like, oh, that makes sense. I was a culture importer. So coming up here in Utah, bro, no one knew what Utah was, but I felt that there's something very special about this place. It's like the energy. We have a lot of untapped talent that no one knows about. Agreed. I'm always gonna tell the story over and over again. 3D, and it's who I am and why I am here today was invented here in the state of Utah at the University of Utah.
Wow.
By Ed Catmull.
Damn.
Which is the creator of Pixar. He went to the U. So at the University of Utah, it was him and the dude that co-founded Adobe, the other guy that co-founded Atari. And their professor is the guy that created silicon graphics computers, which back in the day, those are the only computers that you can use to create the dinosaurs for Jurassic Park. They were all just kids in this classroom, and they invented something that just pretty much changed the whole world because 3D is what's in your navigation systems now, right? So there's a lot of those stories that people don't even know about. And even when we went to that one dinner, you met Jeremy Mustard,
yep,
right? The creator of Fortnite.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Yeah, see, they're all from Utah.
That's insane.
So it's like that thing I always knew, but from my side, I love hip hop. So that's it's like our uncles and aunts got into it. I guess once Jordan's back here, but he's my cousin. But, so I had to come up listening to a lot of hip hop, and then my dad actually started a photography studio in Ninth South. So that was our spot, Ninth South, 132 East. It was our block. I watched that place become what it is now. It got super gentrified, but it was part of South Salt Lake in a sense. Bad block, a bad area, but in Utah it's not bad. But I would say it's a bad area. But there was it was a t-shirt store next there that got robbed all the time. We would see people just run by that, but that was home to us, and the community knew it. We my dad pretty much shot everybody's quinceañeras, weddings, and that's where I learned to pick up a camera. Yeah, and just watch my dad shoot photos because it started with I used to live in West Valley with my parents. So he started it out of a garage. All right. He got injured from working at an oil a purelator. So a machine crushed his finger, and he didn't know about getting a lawyer or anything. And he just quit, and his mission was just, hey, I want to shoot photos now. So that's what started it all. And then, my dad kind of forcing me to learn old school Photoshop. This is Photoshop 3. And another thing, Photoshop, right? It was created to do we were talking about lightsabers earlier. It was to do all the effects on the first Star Wars, to remove the green screen and everything. Was a VFX tool. But yeah, so from there, I just got into design and art. I drew a lot as a kid, painter. I want to be a comic book artist. So I was the high school cartoonist for the newspaper. Then there was I think how I got into music was I used to produce hip hop too back then. I loved Fruity Loops at the time. Sampling. I had a Kai. It was was it the Kai MPC? No, it was another. It was when they first introduced a drum pad that you can plug in via USB, and that's when I was practicing drumming and sampling. But anyways, that my dad going to one of the quinceañeras said he usually knows all the Mexican bands that perform. It's the forgot the name of it, but it's 10 guys, trumpets. It's North music from Mexico. But he said my son designed, so I did my first album cover for a local Mexican band.
That's sick.
My first art, first album.
How
art.
old were you?
I was 13.
That's crazy.
Yeah, 13. And then from there, it just spawned. I started managing because I really loved hip hop. I managed a rapper from back then. that Jordan here and his brother knew from Copper Hills. Funny enough, right? Yeah, Copper Hills. He'd come to my house because my dad had he loved karaoke music, but he had a microphone, and we just did like this bootleg recording studio, and I was recording him, and I was designing like the mixtape covers and flipping CDs out of the trunk kind of a thing. Like even Jordan was flipping CDs for him right back then. Yep. So we know about the mixtape trunk hustle. Like we know what that's like. Yeah. So that's when I knew, okay, the music industry, the hip hop industry is where I want to head into. Like this is it. And I want to like own a label because I can shoot the music videos too. Because I knew how to shoot since I was shooting quinceañeras for my dad, and I edited everything. But yeah, I was shooting him, and then I met all of the local rappers of the time. So like, there's one rapper, to me, he's a local legend. His name is Lance Emilion. Like, dude is an OG out here. I met him at a concert. He was doing at the East. It was called the East Center at the time.
Before the Maverick Center?
Yes. That's how old I am, dude. East Center.
I remember that.
Yep. And he was doing all these like rap battles and stuff. And I went there and I was like hustling. I was like, I design. Like, so I met a bunch of rappers, and then I started managing Calico and Blocks. So at the time, Calico and Blocks was like the rappers in the state of Utah. Like they were local legends because like when you could flip 5,000 copies of your mixtape, that's when you are like, okay, you're pretty close to getting a deal. But again, Utah, it's just like no one cares outside of Utah to hear anything about rappers from Utah. And it makes sense. Like yeah, we have gangs and stuff here, but that's still not relatable to states outside. Right. I feel like you have to be authentic first, but the rappers I felt like blew up was the Mormon rappers, like James the Mormon. Like because it's because that's Utah. You see what I mean? So it makes sense. And then my boy Sid too. So and funny, that's I'm going to LA again. My friend Sid, he started he brought film back. And I know we're going off tangent here. He brought film back like pre-COVID, where he figured that people want to shoot on film stock again. So he goes to these film sets, and these are big movies where they throw away the film, and he'll respool them and sell those like the actual film. Like these
that's cool.
It's like the stuff you see in the disposable cameras. Yeah. And then he eventually started like a film lab in Chinatown in LA, and it became like this really cool culture movement where he's getting everybody to start film again, and he's doing his 1 year anniversary out there. But he's working with some big people, and bringing the essence and the soul of film back.
Right.
But anyways, yeah. So back to the Utah thing. From there, I started designing. I was the first to design MySpace wrapper animated layouts. So when MySpace was big, I was like, man, what if I animated the banner on the top? And at the time, we had something called Flash. So the only way you saw animations on websites was through Flash, right? You had to download like the Flash, and Flash doesn't exist anymore, by the way. But I took advantage of it, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna use Flash and animate. I forgot what wrapper I did it for. I did it as a test, and I got discovered by Sean Kingston. So Sean Kingston, if you remember, he had that single "Beautiful Girls," and he hit me up on MySpace. I was going to Bingham High School at the time.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I was in media class, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm about to get signed." This is before "Beautiful Girls" came out too. Yeah. He showed me this single he had called "Colors" with Game, and I love Game, right? And I was like, "Okay, I'll design your MySpace for free." That was the moment. So when I designed his MySpace for free, I did this thing where I always threw my logo. It says designed by Clegg or C Lee G. I was called C Lee GFX, like GFX for graphics back then. Inbound came through the roof because he blew up. Like "Beautiful Girls" was a #1 hit single. Like within a month, bro, everybody was coming to me. So that's when Games Camp hit me up. So this is me in South Jordan, Utah, and this is like the G Unit beef was going on still, right? 50 Cent versus Game. This was huge. To this day, I still think that was one of the craziest, coolest beefs I've ever seen in hip hop history. Because like Game had Black Wall Street, right? And you were like and it's like West Coast, East Coast, and they're both great rappers, especially 50 Cent. Like, wow. So I started working with the Black Wall Street camp. And I was doing a lot of work for all of them. And then eventually I met Game. So I got a full ride scholarship to an art school out in LA. And this is when I was like, as a Utah kid, made my trek out to California to work with Game and go to school. And I was at the studio with him, and he was working on LAX at the time. And then that's when, like, I was always in the studio. He came into me and he's like, "Chris, I want you to design the new Black Wall Street logo." So I designed the new Black Wall Street logo, which is the B with the star, and he tatted it on his face, his neck. That was like a pinnacle moment for me. I was like, "This dude, it's game." Like I played this guy as a character on Def Jam. Def Jam, the game.
Yeah,
on
PlayStation, it was PlayStation 3 because they had Vendetta and then Icon. Like they had 3 of them, right? Or Fight for New York. Yep. Yeah, it was like crazy. So then I got introduced to all the West Coast rappers. So this is when that new movement called New West came out. Game, J-Rock, TDE, Glasses and Malone, Bishop Lamont, which is Dr. Dre's artist. I was in the middle of all this now, and they all started to recognize my work because I was like now that graphic design kid and eventually music video kid. So I was working with all of them, and that's when I was actually, rewind back a bit. I was still in Utah, but I got hit up by TDE to design the TDE logo. And that's the logo they still use today. And Kendrick Lamar wasn't big at the time. He was K-Dot, and it was everybody was pushing J-Rock at the time. And I didn't even know they were gonna be huge. So I designed that logo for them, and then it was years later when my friend Don Ricky, he was like, "Bro, you know Kendrick was in Utah." This is when Kendrick released Section 80 or like his Good Kid, Mad City. I can't remember which one, but he was here in Utah. And he's like, "Man, dude, I can't believe you did that logo." I was like, "What are you talking about? What logo? I'd never worked with Kendrick Lamar." All right. And then he showed me the pictures, and this is when they were touring with the giant TDE logo. And I did that logo inside Bingham High School. This is a fun fact for Utah. The biggest West Coast logo, hip hop logo of today is designed here in Utah, South Jordan, Utah. I swear to God, they still use it today.
That's crazy.
Like Doechii, because my wife, she's a fan of Doechii. When she was coming out, I looked at the back of the cover. I didn't even know she was a TD artist. I stopped following up with it. I saw my logo right there. I was like, "Oh yeah, there you go. My logo's right there. Yeah. Designed here in Utah."
That's crazy.
So they kept it, and I even tried to redesign it for them at one point because Top Dawg, I know him as Top Dawg. He's the creator of TD because this Top Dawg and his Punch is like the president. And I was like, "Bro, yeah, let me redesign logo," because actually, like when I did that logo, it was cool for the time, but I feel like it got out of date. Like you needed a new logo. I redesigned so many, and they still stuck with that old one. And now I realize there's just something about it, like the history and that classic, the soul of it, and everything. So I was like, okay, hopefully it lives on forever. But yeah, from there, I just made a name for myself in hip hop and started directing tons of music videos for pretty much everybody. And I wanted to scale out. I was like, you can't just stay in music videos because you get typecasted. Like I did the whole agency thing, got signed to like different music video director agents in like New York or whatever. But then I got a manager. My manager at the time, she's my friend now, Taz. She's the one that discovered B2K, Amarion, all those guys. And then Janae Aiko. So I worked with Janae Aiko heavily. Really cool from the beginning. Her first album, singles, etc. Did like VFX for her too. And then I started a brand out here in Utah called Grand Forte. So this is when streetwear was kind of new. So I was a huge fan of streetwear. And I was following the LA Fairfax scene. So Fairfax was like the hundreds, Bobby Hundreds.
Yep.
Supreme was out there. Yep. Supreme's in New York, but that like even this is there was a brand called Pink Dolphin.
I remember that.
Yeah, but this is pre Pink Dolphin.
Okay.
Right? Hundreds is OG. Crooks and Castles. So
I remember Crooks and Castles.
Those are all my inspo, and I was like, how do I bring this culture to Utah? And 9th South was where it was at. I was like, I feel like 9th South potentially could be our Fairfax Avenue, where it's just where the culture scene was happening in Salt Lake City. So my dad's shop, I started Grand Forte. It was, I don't know if anybody even did a streetwear line before that. To me, I think it was the first true streetwear brand in Utah. I had a line out the door. Like it was like people were camping for it because I would always see on Bobby the Hundreds blog people camping out for the Hundreds drop. I was like, man, I hope I get like a camp out one day. Like that's what I want. That's so sick. People waiting like at 5 a.m. in the morning to get a hat or a t-shirt. Yeah. So I linked up with like local screen printers all in Utah to get my shirts made. And then how I blew it up. This is crazy, right? So I was like a light bulb moment. I own my own video equipment now. I established a name at the time for music videos. And so I decided, I have a product that rappers want, like artists want. And a lot of them would stop in Utah and they'll hit me up or I hit them up and we'll be like, let's shoot a quick music video. I'll write a treatment the night before to submit it to them. They'll send me their song. But under one condition, you wear my clothes on your video. All right. I'll shoot your video for free. I wouldn't want to upload the video to my YouTube channel.
Yeah.
So I was always telling people I'm kind of the early Lyrical Lemonade.
For sure.
Yeah, I was too early.
That makes sense.
Yep. Because I was trying to create a music video brand with clothes. It's all tied together.
Literally what Lyrical Lemonade is.
Yep. So like one of the videos I had Grand Forte in was when Ty Dolla $ign was starting to blow up. Ty Dolla $ign and YG, they had the single Tooted and Boot It. It was all over the radio. And they came to Utah with this other artist named Bobby something. He's an R&B singer. I shot it at my dad's shop. So yeah, it's I'll show you the music video too after this.
I wanna see it.
Yeah, Ty Dolla $ign, and he liked the clothes so much. I remember someone spotted it there was a movie with him in it. Mac and Devin Go to High School.
Yep.
It's Wiz Khalifa and Snoop Dogg, and Ty Dolla $ign was, and he's wearing the Grand Forte beanie. I didn't even ask him to wear it. He just wore it on the film.
He
and
just
I
liked
thought,
it.
yeah, I was like, that's sick. That's really cool. Yeah. And then years later, out of nowhere, I didn't hear about him until Kanye West, Vultures. I'm like, whoa, this is wow. I bumped into him again because I got invited to the Vultures 2 performance last year. Yeah. So I met Ty again because my boy knows him. And I didn't see Kanye there though, like in the green room. But it was full circle. Like to see him again, he's performing in my state.
Right.
And he's like way bigger now. Yeah, it was kind of cool. Yeah. But from there, that's the Utah come up. But there was a lot I'm missing because that's like the hip hop era. Right. But man, I feel like I'm talking way too much.
No, you're good. You're good. We're here to learn about
this is just the beginning too, man.
So with emphasis kind of on Utah, do you think you're very well decorated? We're in this beautiful home. Do you think that your career would have launched the way it launched had you not grown up in Utah? Like, do you think you would have done this in LA, New York, Miami?
Utah's a big part of it. Yeah, because I have friends always move out of Utah to pursue whatever. I'm like, no, you can. It's better to be a big fish in a small pond.
100%.
Always.
I've been saying that.
I knew that from the beginning. And again, I had context too with my idols like Ed Catmull.
Yeah.
Right. He created 3D here. They all like you start here in Utah. I was more privileged than them because I had the internet. They literally had to move to LA because there was no internet.
Yeah.
Like they had to go create Pixar in Los Angeles near Hollywood. But I bet you anything, if they started Pixar today, it'll be here in Utah. Yep. Yeah, Utah is a big part of it. And like that needing culture thing, bro, you have no idea how many times I was with big rappers like, Chris, where are you from? Utah. They were like, where's that? At the time, nowadays, like I hear people go, whoa, that's cool. You're from Utah. That blows my mind. But before they're like, where's that? Oh, Utah Jazz. Oh, Mormons. Like that's all I got every single time. But I still held my guns. Like I was like, bro, no, Utah's great. You're going to hear about it. Like, Utah's great. Utah's great. Like everywhere I went, Utah is great.
What do you see with everything kind of like Utah's getting bigger and growing rapidly? What do you think the next big industry is that will come to Utah? Like will really use Utah to catapult?
Funny enough, I think because we have room for it.
Yeah.
Nightlife. Yeah, because we've been needing it for so long. Yeah. It's not just nightlife. It's like just events and everything in general. It's been brewing for too long, and the pendulum swings. Everybody's so hungry for it, like for so long, and it had to take LA guys moving into Utah, New York guys. Like the biggest problem, I talk with all my buddies about this, and I'm not naming names, but I feel like a lot of bars in Utah and nightclubs for so long, they always half-assed everything.
Oh, 100%.
Like when I got into projection mapping early, you could get a projector for like $500, any projector. I was in shock that no nightclub, this is the like 2010s, why can't you get a projector and just project on a wall and it looks cool? Yeah, this is when it was new, it's cheap. Blew my mind. A little tiny cost that can make Utah now look like we're up there with LA and New York. No one was doing that because I felt like, okay, we have our same patrons that come here for liquor and it's like, we can just get away with it.
Yeah.
Right.
That's why there's nothing that was ever elevated. That was the push for me to want to kind of do something bigger than everybody else inside Utah to blow it up.
Yeah.
Yep. That was like my biggest frustration for years coming from here. But now it's time because like, and the sad truth is too, I warn people about this. So all the same bar owners, club owners, whatever, they're seeing all these new patrons come in. these guys have elevated tastes from different states.
Yep.
If they're coming in here and they're seeing this is what Utah has, they love Utah. They're here for the nature too. They're like,
For
wow,
sure.
you guys have a gem. Like, that's what I hear. They're going to come and bring their nightlife and their businesses from out of state. And then guess what happens to our local businesses?
Yep.
Then Utah doesn't, because now I realize Utah has its own kind of culture.
Yeah,
for sure.
We have to maintain and protect it in a sense. But I see it kind of like mixing in now. And
Right.
you're always hearing people go, oh, Utah is like California now. Utah is like this. Like, it's like, what's our identity? And in a sense, that's why I kind of appreciate shows like Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, right? And like all these like TikTok Mormon like kid trends. Like, this is Utah County, so there's a whole trend on TikTok of Utah kids.
Yeah.
Right.
Like stuff like that. Kind of like we have a window now. The eyes are on us. Utilize that window and really show Utah that we have some cool stuff here too. I feel like it's just all happening for a reason. But before the Olympics,
Right.
like parties and culture, I feel like that's gonna really start to begin.
For sure.
You know?
Well, so I'm curious. So like, how did you go from, the music videos and clothing brand and trying to create your own culture here to, merging into tech and fashion and those type of things?
So I was always a nerdy, closeted gamer at the same time. This is like, I love hip hop, but I love playing PC games. Like building my own PCs, playing Doom, Quake, Warcraft 3, StarCraft. Like, that's just me growing up with my cousins. All right. And I knew that one day gaming would be cool because it was inevitable. I can read patterns. So I can kind of predict and see where things are heading just based off of like culture. So like if I'm seeing more gamers pop up streaming a little bit, I'm like, okay, there's something brewing there. But I love music so much, and and especially like hip hop culture. I love skate culture and gaming culture. It had to bleed into each other at some point.
Right.
The kids grow up as gamers. Like this is when you start getting rappers who are coming out and say, I play video games. Like that was becoming a thing. So it was the right time, right place. I was doing movies. See, I didn't even get into that. I was shooting movies. I had a movie on Netflix. Yeah, I produced and edited it with my friend who directed it, called Zombie Hunter. We cast like Danny Trejo. See long hair. I have 2 movies, and then the next one I directed with Danny Trejo called Juarez 2045. It's crazy. Like it's Marines going down to Mexico because like the drug cartel now kidnapped some robot scientists to build cartel robots, and they're like in gold Santa Muerte art. What's wild is like I saw like we're in that age now, and potentially it can happen. You don't know, you never know.
Yeah.
So it's like a prediction with the film. It's so weird. But anyways, yeah. So I was doing movies, but I feel like that took a toll on my health because it was so much work. These are low budget movies, so I was editing them day and night. No exercise, stress. Like, the picture of that film director with the crazy hair.
Yeah.
No
Yes.
sleep. That was me. Like, oh my God. Like, I lost passion in it because I've done film for so long, commercials, music videos, etc. Like, movies was like, okay, I want to get an Oscar one day. That was like that final frontier for every filmmaker. Features,
Right.
movies, right? I got ahead of myself and thought I can do 280 plus robot shots. You have to understand, this is like 2014, 2015. This VFX, like robots, like literally running around the screen, that drained me. And luckily at the same time though, like at that point, I was trying to finish the film and get out. I didn't care if it was bad at that moment. And it's like, nah, like lost all the passion. But my brother was doing skins on Dota 2, and he was a skin collector on TF2, Team Fortress 2. And I was always seeing what he was doing, and he got me into skin making. So I went into Dota 2 with him, and I was doing some skins with him, and he got some skins accepted first, and I started applying my marketing to it. So it gave us the competitive advantage because making skins for Valve software, it's like being a producer. You don't know if you're ever going to get a skin in, but when they accept it, it's very lucrative. It's life-changing. So we got some skins in it, changed our lives, it changed our families' lives. So that was like my first big breakthrough. And I was like, holy shit.
How old were you?
21 or 22. I
Wow.
can't remember. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So I was doing this for a minute, but maybe a little older. I got my dates mixed up, but definitely young 20s.
Yeah.
So then Counter-Strike was brewing. So my brother and I got invited to the international. So if you remember, the internationals, it's still the biggest esports tournament.
Yeah.
So they're
this sells out in like seconds.
Yeah. Like their prize pools would be huge, like millions and millions of dollars. So they would always select like their top favorite skin designers, right? And we'd fly out to Seattle. We'd do autograph signings, and we'd have like special like card skins, and fans would collect these skins and get us to sign them. So one day, Dota 2 was the one, but the Counter-Strike 2 team came to me, or Counter-Strike Global Offensive wasn't 2 at the time, right? And they're like, "Oh, you want to do skins for Counter-Strike?" I was like, "I'll think about it." No one cared about CS Counter-Strike at the time. And then one day, I realized that Counter-Strike was very graphic design heavy, and that was I'm really good at graphic design. That was like my focus, and I decided to just take the leap of faith and go from Dota 2, because Dota 2 is intensive with, you need to know how to 3D model, texture, render, or like work with a video game asset. Counter-Strike is you just slap a texture on a pre-made gun.
Oh, okay.
Faster, easier.
Right.
And because I came from Dota 2, the skill advantage was way higher. So I was like, maybe the skins are even crazier, because I saw the competition. I was like, oh, these are all basic. Like I could definitely crush it, like do some damage in Counter-Strike. I went and I got my first skin accepted. And from there on, like I kept on doing, I got 6 skins, and I even did like a skin with Danny Trejo. I brought him in. I did a whole commercial with Danny Trejo for the skins. So that was like my big breakthrough through esports and gaming. It was like the right timing. And going through the esports route, like getting sponsored by different gaming energy brands, and that whole timeline you're probably going through. It was really fun meeting all like the esports teams, like Fnatic and like even Cloud9. But that's what kind of made me realize that gaming was getting big, and eventually the music scene, pop culture, underground culture, and gaming would one day collide. And it did. And so that's where I took the leap of faith again and created Artifact with my other 2 co-founders, Benoit and Zaptio, who we can get into that too in a bit, but that's a whole long story, man.
So we were kind of nerding out before we started filming about the fact that we have mutual friends in the gaming industry, which is so just weird and random. But I kind of want to know, like, how did you? Because FaZe Clan at the time, R.I.P. FaZe Clan, but at the time was one of the biggest content, biggest esports. How did you get tapped in with that group?
I got introduced to them by my boy Zaptio, right? He was working with FaZe Clan heavily, and Zaptio was he was doing content with them. He's like one of their boys, and I believe he lived at the Clout House for a minute. He's from London, so that's how he knows like Jarvis and Kay. It's like British kids. So yeah, he introduced me to them. This is like right when we were starting Artifact, but we were also raising money for Artifact at the same time, and Artifact was not known yet. I was doing sneaker designs that were going viral on my own personal Instagram account. And Z was like introducing me to them, and be like, "Oh, check this out." And and my brother too, with the content he was creating for his virtual influencers. So they were trying to mess with us heavily. That's the intro. And then when I met Z for the first time too, he took me over to the Clout House. It was my first time going to the Clout House. Yep, and that's where I met Kay and Jarvis for the first time. But we decided to do a video together. Like I'd help him out, just like Creator Chris. So I was going over there at the camera, and I did this really cool video for them where I had Jarvis sitting down, and his arm, or there was like a robot thing that comes out of him.
I remember that.
That was my video. No way. Yep, and it had the Artifact logo on there too.
I remember that.
Yeah. I did that whole video.
It had the internet in the chokehold.
Oh man.
My gosh, I remember that.
It's like one of those moments I tell people like, "What, you did that?" I just always kept it kind of low key. Yeah. But like all the work is always out there.
That's crazy.
But yeah, that was my first foray into FaZe, and the rest was history. So like when Artifact started blowing up, we did collabs with FaZe. They came through and showed support at the last E3. I just realized it. The last E3 before COVID.
Yep.
I did a booth for Artifact, like to show the world, hey, we're here. It was like a little tiny booth too, but I don't know, it was cool because I mapped an Air Jordan 1 with a projector. I've never seen anybody do this at the time, and I literally created the shape, and I had Street Fighter inside an Air Jordan 1.
Oh,
Like,
that's
yeah,
crazy.
I'll show you the video too. So all the FaZe guys came through. They in Nikon, all of them showing support. Great guys.
They're great people.
I mean, so from transitioning from, gaming, how did Artifact essentially become a thing?
When I was making a name for myself in the esports community and skin community, it was like, because I had history of streetwear,
Right.
I was positioning myself as who's the fashion creative director of gaming. And because I had skins is a form of fashion in games. That's like where you express yourself.
Yep.
Right? It's like if you go in a Counter-Strike lobby, kids are like, oh, where'd you get that skin? Right? It's almost like, where'd you get that off-white drop? Or it's you see the pattern connection.
for sure.
It makes so much sense. And these same kids were buying Yeezys at the time, right?
Yeezys and Supreme and all that.
It's that world. So I decided to take my Counter-Strike skins and I threw them on some Jordans and I put them on Instagram and Counter-Strike Reddit. They went viral. And I see seeing comments saying, "Oh, where can I buy this, dude? You should make sneakers." And so after I started doing a bunch of Counter-Strike skins, Fortnite was starting to blow up. And then I took every new Fortnite season came out, I would take a skin and I'd make a sneaker based off of it, like a Drift. It was like, at the time, Drift was a big skin. I made a Drift sneaker and put them online, went viral. Then Apex Legends started blowing up. And then I started doing the same thing. I just rinse and repeat. Eventually I got hit up by Apex Legends. And I talked to Vince Zampala. Yeah, cool guy. Oh man, I feel terrible. He car accident.
I saw that recently.
I did see that.
Yeah. We talked a lot before. Yeah, he put me on Apex Legends. Like I officially did Apex Legends collab because of him. Yeah. But anyways, that's kind of like the start of it. And then from there, I was doing collabs with Fnatic. That's where I met my first co-founder, Benoit. And rest in peace to him too. He passed away last year. Sudden, like a unexpected death. But he saw potential in me too. And we started doing some collabs. I did a champion hoodie with him for Fnatic. Yeah. And he kind of had that vision too, because we were like, man, gaming is so nerdy. Like where's the fashion and the culture? Because he comes from fashion.
Yeah.
He used to work at Colette. So you guys don't know Colette. Colette doesn't no longer exist in Paris, but Colette was that spot in Paris. Kanye went to Colette. Pharrell Williams went to Colette. It was like a resale, like a curated fashion shop where they had all the brands. So any famous celebrity, rapper, musician that stopped into Paris, that's where they went, Colette. But he was a seller in there. He just sold clothes.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so he was ingrained in that the French fashion circles. But moving to London to work at Fnatic, he brought with him that knowledge, and he changed the game over there. That's when he started doing drops. Right? Game esports teams didn't do drops, like where it's sell out. He did a bunch of that, and then the champion hoodie sold out, and then I eventually did my own Fnatic collab as my brand, Clegg Effects, where they gave me my own mouse. So I have a Clegg Effects mouse
so
with Fnatic. And then the rest was history when he said, "You know what, Chris? Like your shoes are going viral. Let's do some sneakers for our League of Legends team." And their League of Legends team is known. Like they were the top at the time. And I did it for them, and they wore it at the World Championship in Korea, like on stage, like a lifted stage with the shoes. So I designed it, but I didn't know how to put these designs on sneakers. So then Benoit hit up Zaptio. That's how Zaptio came into the picture. And Zaptio was like the streetwear influencer London Soho kid. Like this is the dude that knew all the kids running all in the fashion circles in London. And he ran a brand called Frey Customs, where they were just literally customizing Yeezys and stuff. And they had a partnership with a Foot Locker out in London. So when you go to Foot Locker, you could buy a pair of Air Force Ones, and their team would sit there with you and teach you how to paint some sneakers. So he came into the picture and did those sneakers. And last minute, we decided, let's just quit what we're doing, all three of us, and commit, and let's make a brand. And Artifact was born.
That's
in
crazy.
The beginning of 2019. Yep.
I know this already just because from prior conversations, but like I want people to kind of have a taste or an understanding of how fast Artifact blew up compared to like how most brands, how slow burning it usually is.
This was wild to me. So 2019, we were experimenting. We had no product because everything was based off of my content.
Yeah.
So the really content is king at the time because That's the metrics we use to, engage with the audience and see if this would even work, if there's a demand for it. So I was always posting content. And then at the time, we didn't even have Instagram. We could tag an account. Yep. This was like I had to tag him in the caption. So we were trying to blow up the artifact account. And we started to go raise money. I've never raised in the tech space at all. I don't know shit about VCs. I come from entertainment, right? Like I used to, I knew how to pitch to investors for movies. I know how to get that. And then I thought, maybe it's the same crap anyways. Like it's the same run of the hill.
Yeah.
So I watched a show that came out called Silicon Valley on HBO. And it's very accurate and I knew it would be accurate because I used to watch a show called Entourage.
Oh yeah,
Entourage
top 3.
Super accurate. Like everything they mentioned in that show, the agencies, like I was like, okay, this is an HBO show about Hollywood. I vetted it. Hollywood is like this. It's literally, it operates the same. It's so dope. Like they even remember the episode where they had Undefeated in there and Turtle had to go get a sneaker drop.
Yep.
HBO is crushing it. Yep. So I'm sure Silicon Valley would be the same. They were the same. They mentioned all the same VCs in the show, like Greylock, Sequoia. These are all, I was like, okay, I was doing homework. Okay, so this is my homework, is to study and watch the show through and through and through and through. And luckily too, Benoit, he raised money before and he has more of an experience between Zaptio and I. Zaptio and I were like, we create brands, we create fun projects, but we didn't understand like corporations.
Yeah.
Like that's not our thing. Like I'm a Utah kid, like from Ninth South. Anyway, I don't know shit about any of that. So we decided to raise. We raised. We went around. I went to 2 local guys. They rejected us, right? Because I was like, yeah, we're trying to sell digital sneakers. Skins. Like skins are going to be huge. Like there's a skin economy on Counter-Strike. Fortnite has skins. It's a free game, but they're making a lot of their money through skins. They never understood it.
Right.
And we were pitching blockchain at the time, right? And because I was early blockchain, so I got into it like 2015, 2014, and I knew that blockchain would be a huge play because Counter-Strike and Dota 2 is all centralized using Steam, so that whole ecosystem is owned solely by Valve. And if at any point Valve shuts down, all the money you spent on your skins or game gone, kaput, it's done, right? So I was like, oh, blockchain is decentralized. So digital items is owned by the people. So that was the whole play. I was like, hey, how do we fuse this? How do we mix it with digital sneakers, digital fashion? Because digital fashion would be a thing. We were pushing towards augmented reality and virtual reality, the metaverse. Yeah. We were passing that whole metaverse word around before Mark Zuckerberg even changed the whole name of Facebook to Meta. That was even the wild one. I mean, I was like, oh my, but that validated us, right? So we got rejected until I met Galaxy Digital, which is Mike Novogratz. He was like the first Bitcoin billionaire out of New York. He invested in us, and our follow-up was GFR Fund. It's a Japanese fund. So they invested in like VR chat, a lot of like metaverse and video game type stuff. Dope investors.
That's sick.
They believed in us. So it was 2019. We closed funding right at the end of 2019, and we raised that like 1.5 million, really low valuation because there was no brand or company to compare to us.
Yeah.
We were too new, like too unique. Because the way when you raise, it's easier when there's like some market competition. Yeah. So because they can compare. And to me, it was relatable because that's how you pitch movies. Like when you go in with too much of a unique idea, no one knows. But that's why they always go in and say, oh, this is Transformers meets Pinocchio. And people understand it, right? So tech to me works in a very similar way in a sense. So that's when I just had to grill it in these guys. It's like sneakers, video game skins, sneakers, video game skins, over and over and over and over again. And then just telling them like, bro, I have so many skins that sold a lot in Counter-Strike. This could work.
Yeah.
So anyways, end of 2019, we decided to pop up shop to make the real shoes because we were trying to figure out how to merge digital and physical together. And Zaptio was like, let's open it up in Chiswick, London. So we started popping it up kind of Q4 of 2019. I decided to move out there temporarily to help start it up. Then boom, COVID hits. So I couldn't foresee this, but COVID actually helped us around that time because everybody was at home. Yeah. And so when we were launching Artifact, we did like a couple drops that failed. Like it sold but failed. Like because we went physical first. we're like, let's revert and let's do blockchain. So this is before NFTs were even like NFTs existed. We didn't even call them NFTs.
Right.
We just call them digital collectibles. Yeah. And we were doing NFTs before it blew up. So then we're like, okay, let's try an NFT drop. So we did our first NFT drop, and we did like a cyber sneaker. So the cyber sneaker at the time was based off of the Cybertruck when they debuted it on stage.
Yeah.
And I made a shoe that looked like it. It looked crazy. And I photoshopped it on Elon and went viral because I picked a picture of him and Grimes at Met Gala that no one knew about. It was always a picture of him from the front, but there was a picture of him from the back in his white tux, and I graffitied Tesla on it. And I did, and it looked real. I put the sneakers on there, and everybody believed it. Tesla read it. Like all the biggest podcasters were talking about, like, where can we get these shoes? Like, these are cool. And we dropped the NFT, and it sold, I forgot how much, I think it was like $30,000, $40,000 at the time. And it was the highest paid digital fashion item of the time.
That's crazy.
And actually, I still think we hold the records for all of it still, because we did more drops that just like went through the roof. But yeah, and that's when, this is where it was the rush and the high of quickness. To answer your question, so CNBC called us, like every news outlet, Forbes, like Wall Street Journal, boom, 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 and we started to just skyrocket. And then going into 2021, NFTs, like that, we were at the forefront of all of that, like in the same circles with everybody, and then celebrities are all starting to get in, and then each drop we did sold out each time. Like we did a drop with Jeff Staple. If you don't know Jeff Staple, the most famous dunks, the Nike dunks with the pigeon. Yep. He did the first sneaker lineup drop that created like a sneaker riot in New York City. So it was really cool that we teamed up together to do our drop. Right. Sold out too. And then we dropped like $1 pigeons that everybody bought. That's like only 100 of them. They sold out, and then they were reselling for like crazy. But it was such a high at the time. And what's cool is we still kept the grind. Like we just blurted out. We went on the interviews and did everything, all the podcasts, whatever. And then at the same time, I was like, I'm constantly working, because it just began. It's weird because it began and started to blow up too fast at the same time. So it was like a rolling train. The momentum was there. And every week was something. Oh, guess what, Chris? Justin Bieber has one of our NFTs. I was like, what the hell? Like, yeah, Zaptio was like on the phone with Bieber and teaching him how to make a crypto wallet so he can transfer, or teach him how to like get a clone or something, because he wanted a clone. Yeah. And then like one by one, Paris Hilton. Like we did a collab with Paris Hilton. Stevie, I couldn't even name how many celebrities and rappers all had our stuff, and it was just like constant. Then we did a raise in 2022, because everybody's like, you got to raise again. So we raised with a lot of big heavy hitters this time, right? So like Andreessen Horowitz, A16Z, Gary Vee, bunch of people. And then that's when Nike knocked on our doors like 2 months later and acquired us. Like they were like, you want to become part of the Nike family. And still at that time, we were kind of like, do we even do it or not? Because it's too soon. Right. But we always wanted to work with Nike. All right. So it was kind of a dream come true for us at the same time. So yeah, we took the leap of faith and joined Nike as one of the brands. Because I remember that moment where we were in Miami. Again, so we were always constantly working and doing press. But we announced it where Nike dropped on their site. There was the swoosh, Jordan, Converse, and an Artifact, like the 4 brands. I was like, wow, this is insane in a span of like a few years. It was crazy.
When something like that happens so quickly, like how do you process it? Like, how does your brain even, like, did you just sit there in the dark for like 6 hours trying to process it?
Because we were too busy. Like it was just like working. And you have to be like, I was fortunate to have two really good co-founders who, like, if I'm doing this, they're battling this. Yeah. Like, team is everything, right? Because I couldn't even do it by myself. There's no way. Like, then who's gonna vet what podcast to go on, or what news article, journalists, events too? Oh my God, like that was Art Basel, crypto events. that was nuts. Like it was tiring. You have to go to this event, speak, fireside chats, like crowds. It was wild. The fun thing was I like to throw the parties. Yeah, we were throwing some fire parties. We did like this dope party. Well, this is when we first joined Nike. We did a party in Brooklyn, Navy Yard. The Mayor McAdams showed up. He said it was one of the dopest parties. Security, everybody showed up. That's where I'm like, we had Zach Bia DJ, and that's why I was singing "Happy Birthday" to on a lifted scaffolding, and it was a wild party. It was one of the sickest things I ever through because like I remember we were giving free merch there, and you could only get in if you're an Artifact, CloneX, or NFT holder. So it was always we were building these communities where if you owned an NFT, you got access, right? And so we had like a Takashi Murakami ice cream truck set up there. Dude, I saw this guy. I don't know how. He posted the ice cream in his home 3 days later. He somehow went home and saved it for a photo. And then when we were giving free merch, people, the security just like, fuck, they couldn't handle the chaos. Like all rushing in and people were scalping it outside. Like these are free t-shirts. And then they would leave and be like, well, $300, $400. Like all their stuff was reselling like crazy.
Just right there on spot.
Yeah, right there on spot. I was like, oh, that's what it feels like to be like a Travis Scott. Yeah. Like, okay, this is interesting.
That's crazy.
Yep.
I remember seeing LeBron wearing your
Oh,
sneakers.
yeah. It's cool. It's like we would get someone to hit me up with a picture of him going to a game, and he'll have like one of our Remova luggages that we did with Remova. He uses that luggage. Like I think it's like one of his favorite luggages.
That's sick.
Yeah, he loves our stuff. He has a clone too. You know?
To kind of backtrack, because I want to nerd out on it for like 30 seconds, a minute. You mentioned Entourage. That is absolutely one of my absolute favorite shows. Who do you think you resonate most with, like in terms of characters from that show?
E.
E.
I'm E 100%.
Okay.
Yeah, he's kind of low key on the side. Yeah. I feel like that's like the best positioning to be in. Yeah, it's chill. You can just be normal.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I love E.
I kind of want to tip off that. I was going to ask you, like, seeing as much success as you have, even like from such a young age, you know what I mean? Being exposed to like the music scene in LA and whatnot, like how have you maintained to be so humble, so humble and just yourself through all the craziness?
I thought about this a few times because I think I got into entertainment way too early. Right. So I've been around rappers for so damn long and studios and seeing how it all is. And I don't, maybe it's my ADHD too. I love to create. I love to design. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, I'm a creator. I like to design. So at the end of the day, I always choose designing. And designing mentally for me keeps me grounded. Right. And then close friends, like I still have my friends from a long ass time ago. Just never forgetting where you're from. But it's fun. It's something I don't think about though.
Right.
I just
live.
I am who I am.
Right.
Like, and it's, again, when you see like people in the limelight from an outside perspective, and in getting a bit of a taste of it too, right? I got the taste of it, but it's draining.
Right.
Yeah. So my wife too, she hates when I do this. 'Cause I'm really nice in public. Like if you come up to me and talk, I will have a long ass conversation with you, but people can take advantage of that. So
100%.
that's why I always need friends. I never had boundaries. So like, bro, I went to an event and people would wait. Like as we're leaving, I'm done speaking with my partners. They would see if I'm straggling and they would just surround and pitch me ideas or like talk. And it's cool. I love talking to people.
Right.
But that stuff gets very draining because I'm an introvert. So like my battery would just start to deplete. But if I'm in a room with really cool people and I like the conversation, it fuels my battery up. But just being an introvert helps too. I was like, man, I do not. No way. Like that's I'm good. I'm happy where I'm at.
Right.
I could stick to this.
For sure.
So kind of playing off that as well. Has there, like, when you first started out, were there people that were unsupportive, and then when you made it, all of a sudden switched their tune and kind of ask you for handouts or really gas you up, glaze you, whatever, however.
Seeing people that you never talked to in 10 years show up out of nowhere is the most bizarre thing. Yeah. Luckily, I grew some self-awareness. I'm like, okay, like you clearly want something.
Yeah, they're advantageous.
Yeah. So my circle became smaller over the years.
For sure.
Right. Because then it's more self-discovery. Yeah. I felt like I was so naive back then. Like I let everybody into the circle. And that's a bad problem.
Yeah.
So like, in a way too, that because I think about it, there's always pros and cons to everything, right? Me being so naive and oblivious where people are taking advantage of me, we were so smart that as long as they allowed me to create, in the back end, they're doing deals that I don't know, but as they know that as long as I get paid what I asked for, I'm good. But they're making tons of money in the back end. I didn't care. Like, music industry was like this. It's being naive made me very positive.
Yeah.
So if I knew, think about how many doors I would shut off on people.
100%.
Because me being so naive kept my doors open, so it allowed me to have so many opportunities.
Right.
Good ones and bad ones. But I still went with the flow and pick the good ones, whatever was good, and I still try to close off all what I thought was boring, the bad ones. Yeah, but in a way, being stupid helped. When I think about it, I was like, damn, that's crazy. Now, bro, I shut off everybody. Like, I have to like you, and I have to, in conversations, I need substance, man. Like, at a party, I don't want to talk about business. Yeah, let's talk about like random shit, like a cup on a table or something. Like, that has more substance than some business thing.
What do you do, man? What do you do? That's the number one question in nightlife. What do you do?
Yeah, just human things. Yeah.
I mean, and now, like, you know, you've made your success. You've done everything that you said you were, you know, gonna go out and do. What's the future look like for Chris Lee?
I don't know. Like, dude, I always say, "Oh, I'm retired now, retired." Right? Never retired. I tell people I was always retired since I was a kid because nothing really felt like work.
Yeah.
So actually, except school. I fucking hated school. I was an average kid, like C student. Oh, I had A's in art always though.
Tracks.
Oh man, so with my cousin Jordan, where this is more to give back to the Salt Lake. So I went too outward before, right? Because trying to market Utah so much, it was very hard. But I still always kept my roots. I never left the state. Like, I moved to LA for that year just to go to art school. I moved back. Yeah, like I've been living in Utah like 99% of my life so far. But Artifact took me so outwards. It was so bizarre when I meet people locally and they're like, you're from Utah? I get that a lot. It was always the thing, actually in hip hop too. They're like, you're from Utah? Like for locals, it's weird. I'm like, bro, I shot local artists out here. How do you not know I'm from Utah? That's so weird. But I guess it's because I worked with so many artists outside. That's the thing. That's the problem. People always think Utah doesn't have it. So when you work with someone big outside, they're like, that's not a Utah thing. You see, it's like, I don't know if it's like hate or they're downing themselves, downing their own state. I was never about that. Now, I proved that I did that with Artifact going outward. And I still try to keep to my roots. Every interview I did about Artifact, like I'm like, I co-created Artifact right here in Utah. Yeah. Always. It's a third of Artifact was made here, right? And now to get back, I'm going back to my roots, hyper focus on my roots and my ethnicity too. I felt like I never focused on me being Vietnamese. So we're starting a Vietnamese coffee shop, but it's not a normal coffee shop. I don't do normal things. So we're creating this crazy like 5,000 square foot space in Salt Lake City, where it's like a culture art hub where we can just like people come. It's more than just a coffee. Like my whole thing is like, okay, if I built a thing around sneakers, that's that same energy I built around sneakers to create a movement, I'm gonna do around a cup of coffee now.
That's awesome.
But it's more, it's like, it's hard to explain, but it's called Sow House. All right. Yeah. So we've been working on it. Construction's ongoing still. We're super excited. And then I joined the board of Yamoka recently.
That's awesome.
Thanks to Corey from Vice.
Yep.
All right. So now it's like, and then I've been on the board, advisory board for Spy Hop for a couple of years. That goes full circle too, because when I had my studio with my dad on Nights Out, I had rappers from Spy Hop come and pay me for mixtape art.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, now I donate to Spy Hop and I join their advisory board to help advise them and stuff. And I'm trying to like figure out the new kids. Right. So being with Yamoka, Spy Hop, I feel like this is like a good playground for me to kind of work with and see where I can take Salt Lake's art scene now.
100%.
Yep. And like hyper focusing on so much where it becomes so, the energy is so raw and crazy that the whole world from the outside will now focus. Because my goal is to continue that story of, and let people know Ed Catmull is from Utah. Yeah. There's so many great, Fortnite's from Utah. So that's gonna be my focus, is telling that story through our lens.
Oh, that's awesome. I don't think Salt Lake's ready for it. I think it's, I've seen the place. It's going to be insane. I'm very excited. I'm excited for both of you guys. But I really want to know too, like with Sow House even, like, do you feel like implementing the talent that you have from graphic design and everything else will be enough to just alone stand out?
Oh, no, it's more than that. It's like scouting now new talent to do collabs with. It's, to me, I'm trying to bring back what coffee shops were like in the 50s, 60s, like where it was a hub where you went to go see jazz music, slam poetry. It was a culture hub. That was coffee shops are for. But we're devolving that. Like if you go to Asia, coffee shops are wild over there. Like they beat us. Like their stuff is crazy. They're like experiential.
Yeah.
Like it's wild. It doesn't even feel like a coffee shop. So I'm trying to bring that essence into Salt Lake. This goes back to what I was talking about. Like I got to bring something so groundbreaking that everybody around the world wants to come to Utah just to go to that spot.
Right.
Yeah. And I'm not the only one doing it. There's a bunch of people out here. Like Evermore is near here. Unfortunately, it's shut down. Evermore was unique. It was that like medieval theme park.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Super sick. We have now Dreamwalk and dope. That new Japanese what is that?
There's escape rooms. Escape room.
Yeah. I actually don't like escape rooms, like, because I can't. I'm not there to solve puzzles and anymore. Yeah, but that's cool. Like what they're doing. I've been watching them. I want to go to that. It's like we're starting to have people bring stuff like that.
Right.
Yep.
That's why I'm not the only one.
For sure.
But I want to be a part of that.
Right.
In that movement. That's why I feel like Utah is like next up. We have
100%.
the space for it.
For sure.
Yeah.
I mean, and that one thing I want to know too is like if there's somebody that's watching this right now that, you know, is working on something or is working towards trying to change the world in any way, whether that be fashion or whatever industry they're in, what would you say to them?
Oh man, just stay grounded in your roots, dude. Like that's people don't realize it, but where you're from, it doesn't matter what it is. It's probably like your strongest identity.
Right.
Right. Because then the moment you try to go to another place and take that identity and vulture, it's not you. It's not authentic, and people can smell inauthenticity a mile away.
Right.
Right. Really hold to it, because like you never know. That's what's gonna make you stand out.
For sure.
Like, no matter what.
Where can people also with Sow House and even with you to follow along and kind of watch your journey as you build this? Where can they find this stuff?
On our social media account, Sow House. It's just SAOHOUSE. And if you want to see like what we're about to, you can kind of dig deep into the artifact lore as well. Like even I forgot to mention, like Takashi Murakami like was a big part of the journey too. So I was like, I'm hoping I land a collab with him one day again, right? But yeah, just follow our history, because I'm always going to, and same with Jordan, like Jordan's background, and the cameras with the squad, he comes through art and entertainment too. So if you follow him and see what he's about, it's kind of like we're always going to continue the soul and bring it into the new thing. Like whoever follows my work, like some people would be upset that say like Nike shut Artifact down, right? But the soul of everything I do will always continue. It's like I don't believe in names and brand and like identity. Like I believe in like the essence and the soul of something. And so like if you know what I'm about, I'm always gonna continue that soul. It's always gonna have a new name. Like pretty much Artifact was still the same thing I've done many times before. It was Grand Forte, it was my music videos. It's just gonna continue until I die. Yep. If you're about that, then you'll know.
Well, of course, we really appreciate you telling your story and giving us some time to chat and get to know you. So thank you so much.
Appreciate it. Yeah, thanks for having me.
Didn't know what to expect. This is awesome. I've known your story and I've been dying for people to hear it.
So, oh man,
man,
dude, this guy tells the best. I wish you told my story through your voice. I go in Miami. This guy is like wild with the storytelling. You don't know, but you're a good storyteller.
I appreciate it.
It's crazy.
Thank
I still
you,
think about that night till this day. It's wild, dude.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for coming on, bro. And honestly, to everybody watching, thank you very much, and we'll see you on the next one.
Peace.